Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee's 27th Annual Awards Ceremony. This is the second virtual award ceremony, and it comes to you in 2021 on an even more important occasion as the TTOC celebrates its 75th anniversary. We welcome you on all our media and online platforms as we continue to navigate the dynamics of a world living through a pandemic. The TTOC's 27th Annual Award Ceremony includes welcome remarks, a featured speaker, the presentation of the TTOC's 8 prestigious awards, and a special message from the patron of the TTOC, Her Excellency Paula May Weeks ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We begin with a reflection on Team TTO's special moments in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the TTOC extends thoughts and prayers to the families of sporting personalities who passed in 2021. We remember our colleagues and achievers for their commitment and passion to country and sporting disciplines in this, our Remembrance Tribute. To the families of our beloved sport colleagues, we are truly sorry for your loss. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver welcome remarks on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, Please welcome the president of the TTOC, Brian Lewis.
There are 86,400 seconds in a day. It takes 3 seconds to compliment someone, including ourselves. That's 86,400 opportunities either to break down or break up, to say the glass is half empty or the glass is not half empty. Fear is the most common human behavior. The 2 fears that we were born with, it is said, is the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. All the other fears are learned fears. Each day we have 86,400 opportunities either to face our fears or to be consumed by our fears. In 2021, our athletes showed that they faced their fears. They went to Tokyo 2020 in 2021 and gave their best. They did not make excuses. And of course, they showed emotional stamina, physical stamina, and mental stamina by facing their disappointments, their failures, their mistakes, and the criticism of those who weren't in the arena, who did not have to overcome economic issues, lack of training issues, doubt issues, debt in their families and close circles. And unlike many of their fellow citizens who disrobed and took off the robe of the red, white, and black when the going got tough, they, our athletes who represented Team TTO, did not do that. And what they showed, the ability to bounce back, the ability not to live in the past and not to be consumed by their mistakes and failures. And as you would have noted, by the end of the year, they performed at world championships and various international competitions, bringing great joy and relief and a living example of the importance of bouncing back, of the importance of seeing the glass as not half empty. And to this, we acknowledge the tremendous effort, example, and role model of the youth and young people that put on the robe of the red, white, and black and went into the cauldron of COVID-19 to represent this beloved nation of Trinidad and Tobago, whether they were supported or not. Because at the end of the day, we each have to make a decision. When we reach that fork in the road 86,400 times during the day, face our fears or quit. 90% of the people who fail aren't defeated. They simply quit. The glass is not half empty. As we look forward to 2022, we are encouraged by the example and the discipline and the resolve showed by Team TTO at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and at the Junior Pan Am Games. It wasn't easy. Going to these 2 events, knowing that many of your citizens and colleagues felt that it was madness, that you were embarrassing the country, and that they were consumed by their fears, which they were perfectly happy to protract and project onto Team TTO. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 27th edition of the TTOC's annual awards. It is the second virtual edition, and we at the TTOC are incredibly and amazingly dedicated to bringing a sense of positivity, even though positive is no longer a good word, in the COVID-19 era. But at the end of the day, on this, the 29th of December, annually, we look and acknowledge and appreciate the good, the important, those amongst us who are prepared to see the glass not half empty and to look on the brighter side in the dark tunnel that we have currently faced. It would be remiss of me if I did not acknowledge that this year was additionally difficult because each of us, myself included, lost very, very dear friends, close colleagues, mentors, and confidants to COVID-19. The sports world itself also suffered some losses. We lost people such as Daryl Mahabia, Anthony Harford, Hubert Stafford Jr., Peter Alyong, along with many others who you would have recognized that the TTOC paid tribute to early on during this event. In closing, I would like to say that it was very difficult, the announcements that would be made, because of what I said earlier on, the tremendous effort of every single member of Team TTO at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and the Junior Pan American Games. But at the end, the TTOC had to make a call, and in the context of the people's choice, it was a decision of the people, by the people, and for the people. So, I congratulate those who would be announced shortly as the TTOC Award winners for 2021. On a personal note, I just want to say thank you to every single one. Adios, mi amigos. Adios, mi amigas. Thank you very much, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much, TTOC. And thank you very much, the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic and Commonwealth Sports Movement, for your tremendous support over the years during very difficult times, and for your encouragement and joy shared during the good times. Sayonara.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, President of the TTOC. And now, let's present the first category of TTOC Awards.
The Junior Sportswoman and Sportsman Awards are presented for outstanding achievement in competition during the year by an individual under the age of 20 years. The nominees excelled or were the outstanding performers in an Olympic discipline.
We begin with the Junior Sportswoman of the Year Award. And here is TTOC Executive Member Rhea Richardson to present the award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Junior Sportswoman of the Year is Rayanne Serville.
The Junior Sportswoman of the Year, Rayanne Serville, Athletics. First in the women's 100-meter finals at the NACAC Under-20 in Costa Rica. Earned all-conference honors as a finalist in the women's 400-meter at the 2021 Pac-12 Championships meet. holder of 2 national junior records in the 400-meter events. And while competing for the University of Southern California this year, set a new 400-meter indoor junior record at her first indoor track meet. The Junior Sportswoman of the Year, Rayanne Serville, Athletics.
Hello everyone, I'm really honored to be recognized by the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee. I'm sorry that I can't receive this award in person as I'm abroad right now, but I'm really looking forward to continuing to represent Trinidad and Tobago wherever I am. And I'm really thankful to all my supporters and my family and everyone who's helped me get to where I am right now. So thank you.
Congratulations to Rayanne Serville. And now for the Junior Sportsman of the Year Award. Here is Dr. Terry Ali, TTOC Vice President, to present the award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Junior Sportsman of the Year is Nikolai Blackman.
The Junior Sportsman of the Year, Nikolai Blackman, swimming. At the FINA World Swimming Championship in December 2021, personal best times in the 400-meter and 1500-meter freestyle. At the Pan American Junior Games in Cali, Colombia, first place in the 50-meter freestyle. At the ASAT National Short Course Time Trial, 800-meter freestyle national age group 15 to 17 record with 3 personal best times. The Junior Sportsman of the Year, Nikolai Blackman, swimming.
Hi, thank you for the award, Trinidad and Tobago and TTOC. Season's greetings to all.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson and Dr. Ali. And congratulations to Rayanne Serville and Nikolai Blackman. Our program continues with the feature address of the TTOC's 27th Annual Awards Ceremony. Ayanna McLean is an International Hockey Federation World Cup panel umpire. She's the highest ever graded female umpire in the Central American and Caribbean region, a spot she took over from her mother, Sherelle McLean Franco. As an athlete, Ms. McLean received a full athletic scholarship for hockey to Hofstra University, had a short stint on the Trinidad and Tobago national hockey team, and she's currently the club captain of Ventures Hockey Club. As an official, Ms. McLean has officiated at the Youth Olympic Games in Singapore, 5 Pan American Games appearances, 1 as a player, 4 as an official, and the Junior World Cup in Germany. Some of her most significant achievements in umpiring were umpiring the 2018 Commonwealth Games Gold Coast Final, umpiring at the Vitality Women's Hockey World Cup in London in 2018, and at the 2020-2021 Tokyo Olympics. Most recently, Ayanna McLean received her Golden Whistle from the International Hockey Federation, an achievement bestowed upon umpires who have officiated 100 senior international matches. Please welcome Ayanna McLean.
Good evening. It came as first a shock and then an honor to be asked to be the keynote speaker for the 2021 TTOC 27th Annual Awards. It was a shock because it came at 2 in the morning while I was in South Korea, studying if I was going to get any sleep before my game later that day. It was also a shock because as an umpire, you were asked to not be noticed on the field and then you were considered to have done a good job. But clearly I had been noticed. But I promise you it was also definitely an honor, being asked to speak to the sporting community both here locally and the diaspora. As this is the second year of the virtual event, is just shy of gaining my golden whistle in terms of accolades. But they both were a long and seemingly impossible journey. This year's theme, The Glass is Not Half Empty, falls in line with a cliche we've probably heard, but in the current state of the world continues to be relevant. Honestly, for me though, we shouldn't be focusing on if the glass is empty or full, but more on the contents of the glass. Maybe for us in sport and in Trinidad and Tobago, what are the contents of our water bottles and coolers? We all know around the globe that there's a high level of pessimism, uncertainty, and a simple fear of the negativity waiting to wreak havoc on our mental state. For athletes and the sporting world at large, there have been cancelled events, bubble formats, and individuals withdrawing from tournaments mid-competition. And that seems to drain you and make you feel void and out of control. But actually, in our classes are methods that helped us to foster a new, focused, and more dynamic work ethic. A work ethic that brought sport back to where it is now, and it will continue to move us forward to past where we were before. You have trimmed and tailored your support groups to form an even tighter knit community for those who you can trust and lean on to remain standing firm. You've increased your resilience, last year's theme, which is something that is certainly needed at this time. And you've gained confidence, the opposite of fear, that will force you to change for the better, evolve, and grow. From a child, I focus on the content of my class. On what should have been my first day of school, preschool, I turned out to be a discussion and a negotiation with my mother as to why I should attend Belmont Girls RC Primary School with my cousin who was a year older than me. At 3 years old in the schoolyard, I explained that since my cousin and I grew up in the same home, we knew the same information, and thus we belonged to the same school. I refused to believe that I did not have a place there. At that age, I could have cried and said, it's not fair, you don't let me do anything. Yes, at 3. But I chose the content of my education and my friendship with my cousin that would allow me to stay ahead of my current year group and learn more. Needless to say, the discussion ended with me getting placed in a first year's B class at Belmont Girls RC School, a new uniform, and a new set of books by the end of the week. And I think at that point, my mom firmly deciding I was going to be an only child. Knowing the content of your class is imperative. As a twin island country with less than 1.5 million people, classified as a developing nation, we face many obstacles as we try to make our mark on the globe. For athletes, there are always concerns about finding funding, balancing sport and education and career. You are anxious about finding facilities, high enough levels of competition locally, high enough levels of sport internationally and regionally, and being able to qualify for the relevant events. Things as simple as finding the shortest flight plan to get to your competition to acclimatize quickly may be a heavy burden. All these things seem unnerving and formidable and can drain you. They are also the things that nourish and encourage you to discover new paths to success. You are forced to acquire new skills, how to fundraise and budget. You introduce more efficient ways to new technology and make you work smarter and harder and gain time management skills. You are forced to step out of your comfort zone, which will allow you to be more agile both mentally and physically. In order to change the landscape, there must be room for progress, and your glass is not half empty at this point. It is at the point where you're leaving room for growth. As we enter into the international arena, there are times where we feel overwhelmed because no one knows who you are, and you barely know where to find our country on a map. You feel undervalued and underestimated, but that can actually be a superpower. With ambiguity, you do not have the expectation of pressure, obviously outside of what you create yourself. But when you throw a javelin 84.58 meters and secure an Olympic goal, when you pedal your way to being the first Olympic female cyclist for your nation, or when you slide down the slopes to become the first alpine skier to represent a Caribbean island, or when you bring home gold or silver from your first Paralympics and following it up with setting a world record the very next year, one may consider that all the things you may have seemed to drain you are possibly what prepared you to triumph. In 2017, I was in South Africa at a World Cup qualifier. This qualifier appointment came to me after I had been dropped from the Junior World Cup list of umpires due to logistical reasons. And for me, I felt like I had missed my opportunity. My first game at this tournament was a Pan Am rivalry, USA versus Chile. A game I was very familiar with and very prepared for. During halftime, I had to do a series of runs to test my radio as it kept falling out during the first half. And on those runs, I stepped and pulled my calf muscle and could not put my foot flat on the ground, my right foot flat on the ground once again. For the second half, I was replaced by the reserve umpire, and I cried in the locker room. For the next week, I spent the time in the video booth being the video umpire, after which I spent time in rehab for the next week as well, just rehabbing between video and training. A week later, I was then sent on to my second match. excited, ready, healthy. 3/4 way through that game, a ball comes flying across the field and hits me square in the right leg. I was again in excruciating pain, but at that point I decided I was not leaving the field. And honestly, if I was a horse, I swear they would have shot me by then. Later in the competition, after continuing on to do a quarterfinal, I was sitting with one of the International Federation's official committee members, looking at a semi-final match. During the match, she asked me, "Do you think you're as good as the officials on the field?" I shrugged the questions off because those were my friends and I didn't want to say anything. But then he persisted, "Do you think you're as good as these officials?" My simple answer was yes. All I need is the opportunity. 5 months after that competition, with no other competition under my belt, I received an email stating I was appointed to the World Cup, the first female in the region to be on the field at a World Cup in the sport of hockey in the CAC and Pan Am region. What was the point? At this point, what was in my cup? Resilience, a wider network, a higher level of video umpire experience, a better understanding of being a team player and patient, and a higher pain threshold. What did I leave room for? Awareness, opportunity, and an appointment to the World Cup. As we navigate through the next year, I want you to remember the theme of tonight's awards. The glass is not half empty. The content of your glass are your past wins and successes, your past losses and lessons, the friendships you've made, the accolades you've received, knowledge and skills that you have developed in the face of adversity. In that glass also is a room for growth and the realization that your opportunities are endless and bountiful with the right mindset. There are more competitions to conquer, new technology and skills to try and discover, and new paths to traverse in life and in sport. As we forge into 2022, think about what you will make room for and everything that is left to fill your glass, because there are times where you need to sip out of that glass to make sure there's room for more. Continue to be ready for what will be poured into it. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you to Ms. McLean, our feature speaker, for sharing such a meaningful perspective. And now for the Sports Personality Award.
The Sports Personality of the Year award is for an individual whose contribution during the year was pivotal to the outstanding sporting achievement of an affiliate. This award does not rest on one achievement during the year, but acknowledges sustained outstanding activity.
We invite TTOC Vice President, Mr. Ephraim Seret, to present the Sports Personality of the Year award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Sports Personality is Tyra Gittins.
Sports Personality, Tyra Gittins, Athletics Olympian. Third in the women's long jump at the NCAA Division I. First in the women's high jump at the NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships. First in the women's heptathlon at Texas A&M. Second in the women's high jump at the SEC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. First in the women's heptathlon at the SEC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. First in the women's heptathlon at NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships. Second in the women's long jump at NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships. Third in the women's high jump at NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships. 10th in the women's long jump finals at the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympic Games. Sports Personality, Tyra Gittins, Athletics Olympian.
First of all, I want to say how honored I am to be receiving the Sports Personality Award. I want to thank TTOC and Trinidad and Tobago for all the support that I received last year. I went into the Olympics wanted to express myself and also show my personality, and you all just accepted that, and it made my experience in my first Olympics truly something special. And I cannot wait to represent our beautiful nation once more. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Seret, and congratulations to Tyra Gittins. Now, it's time for the Future is Female Award.
The Future is Female Award celebrates the leadership of an individual, team, or organization, demonstrating outstanding commitment to the encouragement, development, and motivation of women in sport. The award also draws attention to valuable contributions, showcasing women in a positive and progressive way, or being a spokesperson or advocate for the prominence of women in the sporting world.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Miss Diane Henderson, TTOC Vice President, to present the TTOC's Futures Female Award for 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Futures Female Award goes to Anissa Mohammed.
The future is female, Anissa Mohammed, cricket. Third highest wicket taker in ODI. World record holder for the most 5 wicket hauls in both ODI and T20. World record holder for the most wickets in T20 international cricket. Vice captain of the West Indies women's cricket team and captain of the Trinidad and Tobago women's cricket team. Future is female, Anissa Mohammed, cricket.
Thank you to the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee for recognizing me and awarding me with this award. Thank you.
Congratulations to Anissa Mohammed. The TTOC is pleased to welcome to our 2021 award ceremony the Minister of Sport and Community Development. To deliver remarks, here's the Honorable Shamfa Kojo.
Mr. Brian Lewis, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee and other committee members, to all distinguished athletes and sport affiliates, members of the media and our viewing audiences, good evening. Tonight, I'm privileged to join the trailblazing Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee and the proud people of this nation as we celebrate our heroes, showcase athletic excellence, and show off the power and beauty of sport. It has been a rough year, but tonight we are all here, not only celebrating life, but celebrating our accomplishments and our journey. Therefore, it is safe to say we have made it. Tonight, we are in the presence of excellence, surrounded by stars and dwarfed by giants who dared to chase their dreams relentlessly, even against the backdrop of a pandemic. This evening, I pay tribute to the most distinguished awardees, and I salute all our athletes. I have seen your exemplary focus and willpower to conquer your respective disciplines. You have overcome many hurdles this year, as you had to devise creative ways to keep fit and stay on top of your game. You had to dig deeper to find the mental fortitude to continue training and to withstand tremendous psychological stress. I know that the Olympic Games represented the peak of this kind of pressure, but you pushed through. You rose to the occasion. You faced the fire. You gave it your best shot and showed the world the true constitution of courage, commitment, perseverance, and grit. You followed your aspirations and dreams despite the many adversities and the myriad of uncertainties. You flew in the face of the universe, revealing the true metal of the red, white, and black. On behalf of the Ministry of Sport and Community Development and the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I extend my sincerest congratulations to you, for you have flown our flag high. You've offered us hope in the midst of these most difficult times, and you've demonstrated what it truly means to be a positive force, to have an indomitable spirit, and to possess unconquerable faith. This year, the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee is hosting its 27th annual awards ceremony to celebrate sporting excellence in our country. I am pleased to join the TTOC in keeping hope alive by doing so virtually. This symbolizes versatility, agility, tenacity, and strength, a true reflection of this dynamic organization and a fitting representation of our sporting fraternity. Our athletes have amazed us with their outstanding performances, extraordinary achievements, their commitment to staying the course, and their determination to win. I know that I can safely say that all people, or government, or country, and all our well-wishers from far and wide are indeed proud. I tip my hat to the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee as you celebrate your 75th anniversary. Thank you for your unstinting support to honoring our nation's athletes and recognizing their journey to excellence. Your steadfast commitment to our people and to our government is certainly second to none. I take this opportunity to also acknowledge and pay tribute to the entire sporting fraternity and all our stakeholders in this beautiful ecosystem, the coaches, the administrators, the many arms of the government, sponsors, and to you, the loyal spectators. Thank you for standing in solidarity with our athletes and contributing to the development of our country through sport. It has been a rough year indeed, but we've made it. We therefore look forward to the new year, facing the new chapter wiser, stronger, more willing to work, more focused on the fight, and more ready to win. Once again, I congratulate all winners. I wholeheartedly commend all athletes. I salute the TTOC, and I express best wishes to the entire sporting fraternity. May God bless you. May God richly bless our nation. Season's greetings to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you to the Honorable Shamfa Kojo, Minister of Sport and Community Development. Ladies and gentlemen, we turn our attention now to the TTOC's 2 Senior Sport Awards.
The Sportswoman and Sportsman of the Year athletes should have excelled or have been the outstanding performers in an Olympic discipline. Where such activity is capable of being assessed by measurement or international or regional ranking, high achievement may be given greater weight than achievement of medals in competition.
It is my pleasure to invite Ms. Diane Henderson, TTOC Vice President, to present the Sportswoman Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Sportswoman of the Year is Michelle Lee Ai.
The Sportswoman of the Year, Michelle Lee Ai, Athletics Olympian. 8th place in the world in the women's 100-meter event. Gold in the women's final 100-meter race, Irvine, California. Gold in the women's final 100-meter race, Chula Vista, California. Gold in the women's final 100-meter race, Poland. Gold in the women's final 4x100-meter relay, Budapest, Hungary. Gold in the women's 100-meter race, Rovereto, Italy. 3rd in the women's semi-final 100-meter race, Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. 4th in the women's 100-meter race, Poland. 5th in the women's final 100-meter race, Berlin, Germany. Sportswoman of the Year, Michelle Lee Ai.
It's an honor to receive the Sportswoman of the Year 2021 from TTOC. Thank you everyone for your support. I really appreciate it.
Congratulations to Michelle Lee Ai. And now for the Sportsman of the Year Award, I invite Mr. Ephraim Serrett, TTOC Vice President, to present this award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Sportsman of the Year is Nicholas Paul.
The Sportsman of the Year, Nicholas Paul, Cycling Olympian. First Trinidad and Tobago cyclist to win a silver medal at the UCI Track Cycling World Championships in France in October 2021. Triple gold in the UCI Track Cycling Nations Cup in Cali, Colombia in the Elite Men Kilometer, Elite Men Keirin, and Elite Men Sprint. Double gold at the Bachnen Tourney in Germany in the Elite Men Sprint and Elite Men Keirin. 6th Elite Men Sprint at the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympic Games. Silver at the Belgian Open Track meeting in the Elite Men Sprint. And 5th in the Elite Men Keirin.
I'd like to thank the TTOC for awarding me the Sportsman of the Year Award for 2021. It was a great achievement and thank you very much.
Our thanks to Ms. Henderson and Mr. Siret, and congratulations to Michelle Liai and Nicholas Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second consecutive year, and in particular on the 75th anniversary of the TTOC, we are honored to receive greetings from Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who is the patron of the TTOC. Please welcome Her Excellency, Paula May Weeks, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Good evening and season's greetings to the sporting and the national community. Many years ago, in the early days of the National Lottery, I would buy a ticket for every draw. At the appointed time, I would settle myself in front of the TV, dreaming about what I would do with my first prize. And when I didn't win that, I would simply go along adjusting my fantasies as the second and third winning numbers were drawn, and so on and so on. When it was all over, and I had not won a red cent, I would say philosophically, "Ah, well, there's always another chance." And that is how I suspect the rest of the nation felt about the 2020 Olympics held this year. Given the totality of the circumstances leading up to the Games, it was perhaps unrealistic, though not impossible, for our elite athletes to excel. But we, the die-hard supporters, held out hope to the very end. And we keep hope alive, secure in the knowledge that there will be another Olympic Games in 2024, and with it, another opportunity for our sportsmen and women to shine. With a lottery, sheer luck is the determining factor. And while serendipity may indeed be a minor contributor to Olympic success, it is overshadowed by painstaking preparation and practice, raw grit, near heroic sacrifice, and mental toughness, all of which our Olympians have time and time again displayed. The celebration of excellence in athletic performance is the reason we gather virtually this evening for the 27th iteration of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee's annual awards ceremony. Voltaire captured it best when he said, "Appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well." The national community is thrilled to share in the achievements and recognition of our sportsmen and women who distinguished themselves over the past season, a hard-won accomplishment given the challenges that confronted them over the last 2 years. I salute this evening's awardees and wish them every success as they continue to fly the red, white, and black. While the Trinidad and Tobago flag was not hoisted at any of the medal ceremonies in Japan, our athletes persevered, distinguishing themselves and doing us proud on the international scene later in the year, reminding us all that they were still a force to be reckoned with. Whether or not they are in the running for an award this evening, and let me say that even as the patron of the TTOC, I am kept in the dark until the awardees are announced, I must mention Dylan Carter, who continues to break records, recently winning silver in the 50-meter butterfly in Abu Dhabi, to Neil Campbell for her recent successes in Chile and Australia, and Nicholas Paul, whose recent silver medal was the nation's first world's cycling medal in 30 years. And I anticipate that Kelsey Daniel and Tyree Hosford, who earned silver and bronze in the men's long jump and men's javelin respectively at the Junior Pan American Games in Colombia, and Akil Campbell, with his gold medal win in the Nations Cup in Colombia, will soon join these august ranks. There are but a few examples of the talent, determination, and prowess possessed by our sporting vanguards. These key attributes are best synthesized when buttressed by a strong, responsive, reliable structure. The TTOC, with its 7+ decades of selecting, training, and preparing our athletes for the biggest stage of sport, is such an institution. As you celebrate your 75th anniversary, you continue to support and champion the well-being of your charges, a critical responsibility during this trying and volatile period. On behalf of the nation, I thank the TTOC for its unstinting service and commitment to our nation's brightest sporting stars. The theme you have chosen for the 2021 awards ceremony, "The glass is not half empty," is indicative of a positive and resolute mindset, an organization realistic but undaunted. I commend you for your innovative methods of raising funds, including a virtual marathon, and was delighted to note that you had not abandoned real experiences altogether when you hosted your in-person marathon walk from St. Mary's Junction to the Queen's Park Savannah, of course, with all COVID protocols observed. I was further heartened when in October 2021, you advanced your Future is Female initiative, hosting your second virtual webinar, Advancing Women in Leadership, Overcoming the Economic Financial Challenges of COVID-19. I take this opportunity to appeal to the Ministry of Sport and other sponsors to continue and increase funding for our elite athletes, financial constraints notwithstanding. Our athletes require tangible and sustained support if they are to realize their full potential, and new donors are always welcome. I could not leave you this evening without mentioning an issue that has been front and center for elite athletes internationally. They push their bodies to extremes, training all year round for a few minutes at a time of competition. They face injury, disappointment, burnout, and the relentless expectation of the public, all of which can have a deleterious impact on their mental health. Athletes, I encourage you to prioritize your emotional well-being. Your mental health is as important as your physical health. We are on the cusp of a new year, the ideal vantage point from which you can look back and appreciate small triumphs, even where you did not accomplish all your goals, and identify your errors, challenges, and frustrations for the lessons they have taught you. And a point also from which to look forward, committing yourself wholeheartedly to going faster, higher, stronger together. I wish you all a happy, productive, and successful New Year.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present our final group of awards.
The People's Choice Award affords the general public an opportunity to vote online for their national athlete.
We invite Ms. Ayana McLean to present the TTOC's People's Choice Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 People's Choice Award goes to Nicholas Paul.
I'd like to thank Trinidad and Tobago, thank my family, my friends, supporters all around the world for voting for me for the People's Choice Award for 2021.
Congratulations, Nicholas Paul, and thank you, Miss McLean. Our final award for the night is the Alexander B. Chapman Award. Mr. Alexander Chapman is an honorary life member of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, honorary vice president of the Central American and Caribbean Sports Organization, and a life vice president of the Commonwealth Games Federation. We invite TTOC President Brian Lewis to present the Alexander B. Chapman Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alexander B. Chapman Award goes to Elton Prescott SC.
Elton Prescott SC was admitted to practice at the bar in Trinidad and Tobago in 1974. He has had a varied practice, firstly in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, and from 1978 at the Criminal and Civil Bar, and in the Industrial Court. The major areas of his practice are in civil and labor law. Mr. Prescott chaired the Commission of Inquiry into the Death Penalty and has served on several prominent institutions, including as Director of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, the Copyright Organization of Trinidad and Tobago, and as Treasurer and member of the Disciplinary Committee of the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago. He served as Chairman of the Land Surveyors Disciplinary Committee and has chaired the Standing Tripartite Committee on Labor Matters. He was a member of the Police Complaints Authority at its inception. A retired Secretary General of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee from 1989, he assisted as mediator in disputes in sports organizations. He has also done some work as arbitrator and has lectured on matters pertaining to industrial relations. In 2003, the National Olympic Committees of the Caribbean gave body to a view that the Caribbean sport organizations would be better represented as a federated body. The Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees was established with Mr. Prescott as Secretary General from 2003 to 2013. In February of 2006, Mr. Prescott was appointed Senior Counsel by the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. In June 2010, he was appointed an independent senator in the 10th Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago and served in that capacity until June 2015. In November 2016, Mr. Prescott was appointed a member of the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission.
Thank you very much, Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee and the sporting world. I must concede that when I first conceived of this idea, I should make it appear that it was just me, that it never occurred to me that I might one day be a recipient of this prestigious award. I'm very grateful to have been thought of and remembered in this way, and I trust that the Olympic Committee will continue to prosper in all its doings for the benefit of everybody. Thanks again.
Congratulations to Senior Counsel Elton Prescott. We say thank you to the family of Mr. Alexander B. Chapman, and thank you to Mr. Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present each of the 2021 TTOC awardees. The Junior Sportswoman, Rayanne Serville. The Junior Sportsman, Nikolai Blackman. The Sports Personality, Tyra Gittins. The Future is Female awardee, Anissa Mohammed. The Sportswoman of the Year, Michelle Lee Ai. The Sportsman of the Year, Nicholas Paul. The People's Choice awardee, Nicholas Paul. And the Alexander B. Chapman awardee, Elton Prescott SC. Congratulations to all the winners of the 27th TTOC award ceremony. Thank you to Her Excellency, the President, Minister Shamfa Kojo, and our feature speaker, Ayana McLean. We thank our sporting organizations, the TTOC executive and staff, and our special guest online, on radio, and on television for sharing in this evening's prestigious ceremony and supporting our athletes for 75 years. As we close our program, the TTOC extends to you safety and optimism for the year ahead of us. We say thank you, Happy New Year, and good night.